SmackDown took place from the Performance Center tonight. You started the show off with a video honoring veterans for Memorial Day weekend. Then you went to the dirt sheet with Miz and Morrison. Hey, hey, ho, ho. Miz and Morrison. Hey, hey, ho, ho. They should have absolutely changed their theme music to it. I like it. I can't believe admitting it. Oh, that song stuck in my head for whatever reason now. So Miz's mad Strowman got to tag with Otis last week, and they rip into Strowman. Even Morrison throws a little line mocking Becky Lynch for having a child with Seth Rollins. So Jim Cornette doesn't have to feel alone there. They point out how Bray kicked Strowman out of the Wyatt family, which is just years ago, and they say he was replaced with puppets, which I know it's for storyline, but it's so inaccurate. Anyway, Strowman comes out. He's mad, and he gets in their face, and eventually he has a match with The Miz. So Braun Strowman, of course, defeats The Miz. No shit. The fact that they had Miz have too much offense was terrible, but Strowman eventually gets the win. They should have had Miz. I mean, this would, in a real fight, it's like 5 seconds. This fight lasts. So after the match, John Morrison's challenged Strowman to take on Miz and Morrison at Backlash for the Universal title. Strowman laughed and agreed to the match. This was a good opening match, but they didn't do a good job building to the match at Backlash, but that's what you get. So I guess they'll hold off the Fiend rematch for Extreme Rules. I think the Fiend probably beats Braun Strowman at Extreme Rules. The Fiend will, but I think it gives Braun an extra month, and they'll do it like that. So you had AJ Styles versus Shinsuke Nakamura in the Intercontinental Championship Tournament. AJ always beats Nakamura. Not good. It's been a good run for Nakamura in the WWE. He had the good run in NXT, not a great run, but he comes onto the main roster. They push him well for a year. They give him a Rumble win, and after that match with AJ, 2 years left since that, it's been nothing. Just random tag teams, random factions. He's had nothing. So I kind of wish Nakamura would go to Japan, but I think he just phoned it in. So it's not really WWE's fault, it's his fault more. He phoned it in, but this was an average match. It wasn't much from their WrestleMania match at 34 a couple years ago. That was no good, and no one liked. The most disappointing match. Fucking one of the most disappointing matches ever. It was an average match, but AJ Styles gets one phenomenal forearm. Beats Nakamura again. He advances to the IC title tournament, and he takes on Elias in the semifinals. I expect him to certainly beat Elias. They recap SmackDown champion Bayley and Sasha Banks confronting Charlotte last week. In the backs, you have Bayley and you have Sasha. And I don't know, since Sasha's come back, she's just looked fucking smoking hot. It's been ridiculous. She was a good-looking chick before that, but since she came back, she's just, her body changed, and she's just wow. You have to give her credit. She's smoking hot. They get ready for the match against Charlotte, and Bayley says she doesn't want Sasha coming there, and she wants her to stay in the back. And of course, they're building up dissension. No one really cares much anymore. I think they must have won that years ago. So Bayley against Charlotte Flair, non-title match. They have the NXT Women's Champion lose to Bayley. This is a good match. Charlotte and Bayley have had a lot of matches. I think when you combine the 4 horsewomen, it's kind of sad after we're not going to get Becky anymore, or at least for the time being with them. But when you compare them, we've seen Becky and Charlotte a billion times, Charlotte and Sasha a billion times, Charlotte and Bayley a million times as well. We've seen Becky and Sasha a few times. Not Becky and Bayley is the one combination we haven't seen as much. I always thought about that. Like, we've seen the other ones, so many combinations of the other two, but we haven't really seen as much of Becky and Bayley. That's the one combination of horsewomen we haven't seen as much as the other ones. Sasha's had matches with all of them, as has Charlotte. But anyway, solid matchup here. They had Sasha Banks watching in the back. Bayley reverses a wrist lock, and have Charlotte get the dominant. Charlotte's in control for a lot of it. They have a cool spot where Charlotte's is yelling at Bayley to hit her with chops, and Bayley keeps hitting Charlotte with chops, and then Charlotte's laughing, and she's no-selling. Bayley goes for the figure four. Charlotte hits her with a punch. Then Charlotte goes. They have a cool. What was it? They have a roll-up. Charlotte tries to roll up Bayley, but Bayley reverses into a roll-up, and she holds on to the ropes for the win. 1, 2, 3. Bayley cheats, but she pins Charlotte Flair in the ring, even though it was a dirty pin. She pins her, and Bayley gets a big win over Charlotte Flair. In the back, I guess that's it for that promo. But I guess the whole point of Charlotte there was to, get Sasha to wake up and turn on Bayley. But in the back, you have Bayley and Sasha Banks celebrate her victory. Bayley jokes that Sasha thinks she could win without her help, but Bayley laughs and says she's joking, and they're clearly building up the match, which I don't know how many people still care at this point. Next, we go to a mixed tag match, Sonya Deville and Dolph Ziggler against Otis and Mandy Rose. They're really pushing Sonya Deville. She might get a title match. They should give her a push. Why not? I think she has a lot of potential. I'm starting to really like Sonya. I think she's very talented. I know she would love to have done that, that lesbian angle with Mandy. And looking the way Mandy looked tonight, I don't blame her, because Mandy in her jean outfit was insane. She's so fucking hot. I mean, when I think of Mandy, I think of, she has that kind of 90s blonde bombshell look to her, but it's, it doesn't matter when it is. She's just so fucking hot. It's crazy. She almost reminds me of one of those platinum blondes. You don't see much them in wrestling. She's Mandy is just insane. But the match, it was Sonya beat up. Yeah, it was just like Sonya just beating up Mandy, and almost, she had her in the body scissors like she had her a few weeks ago. I'm sure she enjoyed it. But Sonya is firmly in control. That's how 90% of the match went. Otis and Dolph would fight on the outside. Dolph would take cheap shots at Otis. He threw him into the stairs a couple times. Otis is getting his ass kicked by Dolph. Then eventually you go back in the ring, and Mandy and Sonya go back and forth. They tag out. Mandy gets some offense, and then what happens is Rose and Deville are back in the ring. They're back on Legal Woman. Rose hits a running knee for near fall. Otis and Ziggler fight around the ringside. Deville fights back, and she hits a running knee to the back of Mandy Rose's head. And Sonya Deville pins Mandy Rose again. She's getting the better of Mandy. I guess they can build. That'd be a cool match. Maybe they go Sonya as champ, and Mandy finally beats her. They can do a storyline like that, but Sonya gets the better of her again, and after Otis checks on his girlfriend, Ziggler kicks him in the head and leaves them both laying. So Otis and Ziggler and Sonya get the better of him yet again. In the back, Jeff Hardy promises to defeat Sheamus in the final first round of the title match. They do a memoriam for Shad Gaspard. I didn't give him a video package. I think they should have. That would have been nice. I know he wasn't a major star there. He was there for a few years, so there's probably been bigger stars who've died or they haven't won, but he was really young. So I thought they could have done something with Crime Time, show their highlights. They could have done something like that at least. But at least they gave him the picture. And I don't think he left on bad terms. I don't remember why they released him. It was 10 years ago. I'm surprised they... Yeah. Anyway, rest in peace, Shad Gaspard. They did the Forgotten Sons promo. No one cares. They Braun Strowman against The Miz and Morrison's official for Backlash. And the tagline for Backlash is the greatest match ever. Oh, the greatest wrestling match ever. Like, it was such a joke. This is just an inside joke now. I mean, it doesn't matter to them, but fuck, this Randy Orton Edge match. People are going to want to shit on it now. Because that WrestleMania match was so bad. Renee Young interviews Miz and Morrison backstage. They promise to beat Strowman at Backlash. They recap Sheamus and Jeff Hardy's feud. And eventually we get to the main event. Jeff Hardy and Sheamus. Main event time. Okay, match. Sheamus gets dominant. He looks dominant at first. He's kicking Jeff's ass, which Jeff's going to make a comeback, of course. They go back and forth here. Jeff Hardy hits a whisper and win for a near fall. He tries to fight back again, but Sheamus hits a knee to the guy. Sheamus hits a series of Irish curse backbreakers. He follows up with forearm strikes to the chest. Sheamus missed a charge in the corner with shoulder first into the ring post. Hardy made a comeback and hit a basement drop kick for a near fall. Hardy attempted the swanton bomb, but Sheamus got the knees up. Sheamus rocked Hardy with the knee left for a near fall. He attempted a brogue, but Hardy avoided, and he rolls up Sheamus for the win. And that's it. Jeff Hardy pins Sheamus. He advances in the IC title tournament and takes on Daniel Bryan next week in the semifinals. I think it comes down to AJ and Daniel Bryan, whichever wants. That's the best match by far. I think Sheamus probably cost Jeff Hardy the match next week. It's kind of unfortunate for Sheamus because I know it was his one dream. He wants to be the Crown Champ because he's held every title he wants, the IC belt. They could have given it to him. They've given him absolutely nothing. I've never been a huge Sheamus fan, but I don't think they've treated him really well since his return. So we'll see what they do with him, but I'm sure this feud will continue. Next week, you have AJ and Elias, Daniel Bryan and Jeff Hardy for the semifinals and Crown Title Tournament. And I don't know when Backlash is, but they'll build up that show eventually. So that was SmackDown. Thought it was an average show. Not a great show, not a bad show. I thought it was okay. Decent show to watch, not hard to watch. He had some decent matches for sure tonight.